Hello, my friends. Susie here, and today we need to have a very serious, very honest conversation. I want you to look at me. If you are retired or if you are standing right on the doorstep of retirement, you need to listen to every single word I am about to say. The title of today's video is Everything You Need to Know About Current Cash Advance. Now, when you hear the words cash advance, what comes to your mind? You might think it is just a harmless, quick way to bridge the gap when an unexpected medical bill pops up, or when your air conditioner breaks down in the middle of a scorching July. You think, oh, it is just a temporary fix until my next Social Security check hits, or until I take my monthly distribution from my IRA. I am here to tell you that what you don't know about current cash advances can absolutely destroy your financial freedom. It can strip you of your security, and it can force you into a cycle of debt that you may never, ever walk out of. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why are we talking about this right now? Because the world has changed. We are living in a time where inflation has driven up the cost of absolutely everything: your groceries, your utilities, your prescription drugs. Your fixed income simply isn't stretching the way it used to. And because of that, you are feeling a fear that is deep, heavy, and real. It is the fear of running out of money. It is the fear of having an emergency and not knowing which account to pull from because your nest egg is locked up, or because you are terrified of taking a big withdrawal when the stock market is volatile. And guess who knows you're afraid? The predatory financial institutions and tech companies out there. They smell that fear, and they have rebranded the old, dirty payday loan into slick, modern apps on your smartphone. They call them instant cash advances, early income access, or liquidity solutions. They make it look so friendly, so easy, and so safe. But I need you to understand the devastating reality of how these cash advances actually work. There are a few different ways you might be tempted to get a cash advance today. The first is the classic credit card cash advance. You take your credit card to an ATM, you punch in your PIN, and you pull out $500. You think, well, my credit card interest rate is 18%. I can handle that for a few weeks. Wrong. What they don't tell you in bold print is that a cash advance on a credit card does not work like a regular purchase. First, they charge you an upfront fee just to hand you the cash, usually 3 to 5% of the amount you take out. Second, and this is the killer, there is no grace period. When you buy a pair of shoes or groceries on a credit card, you have until the end of the billing cycle to pay it off before interest starts to accrue. With a cash advance, the interest clock starts ticking the exact second that cash leaves the ATM machine. And worst of all, the interest rate for a cash advance is almost always significantly higher than your regular purchase rate, often skyrocketing to 25, 28, or even 30%. But if it is a structural problem, or if a true emergency has hit you, a cash advance is still the absolute worst place to turn. Why? Because these advances are designed to be repaid automatically from your very next deposit. So when your Social Security check or your pension hits your bank account next month, that cash advance app or credit card company is going to swipe their money right off the top. Now what happens? Now you are starting the next month with a massive deficit. You don't have enough money to cover your basic bills for that month. So what do? You take out another cash advance. And then another. You have just entered the financial quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. I do not want that for you. You have worked too hard, for too many decades, to spend your golden years trapped in a cage of high-interest consumer debt. You deserve security. You deserve peace of mind. So, what is the actionable takeaway here? What do you do instead when you need cash fast? First, if you are approaching retirement and you do not have a separate, liquid emergency fund that can cover 12 full months of living expenses, you are not ready to retire. I know that sounds harsh, but it is the truth. You must have a cash wall of protection that sits in a high-yield savings account or money market fund, entirely separate from your investment portfolio. This way, when the roof leaks, you don't touch a credit card, you don't download a cash advance app, and you don't sell stocks in a down market. You simply pull from your cash reserve. Second, if you are already retired and an emergency strikes today and you don't have that cash reserve, here is what you do before you ever consider a cash advance. You pick up the phone and you call your utility companies, your medical providers, or your lenders. You tell them honestly, I am a retiree on a fixed income, and I am facing a temporary financial hardship. Can we set up a zero-interest payment plan? You will be shocked by how many companies will work with you if you just speak up. If that isn't an option, look into a small dollar loan from a local, member-owned credit union. Credit unions are nonprofit institutions. They often have specific loan programs designed to help people in their communities bypass the predatory payday and cash advance markets, offering interest rates that are legally capped and drastically lower than credit card cash advances. And finally, if you own your home and you have substantial equity, look into a home equity line of credit, a HELOC, but set it up before you actually need it. A HELOC gives you a revolving line of cash that you can draw from only when necessary, at an interest rate that is tied to the prime rate, which is a fraction of what a credit card cash advance charges. My friends, money is a physical manifestation of who you are. When you value your money, you value yourself. When you allow yourself to be tricked by the easy appeal of a quick cash advance, you are telling the world that your future security isn't worth protecting. Be strong. Be smart. Say no to the instant gratification of cash advances, protect your nest egg, and stand secure in your financial truth.